Hey, this is Aaron, and in this video I would love to show you the true power of Spin Rewriter AI. This Get Started tutorial will show you how to use Spin Rewriter AI properly from start to finish and how to create all the unique human quality content you could ever need. And at the end, we're going to do something that might just blow your mind a little. So let's get started. This is where it all begins, when you want to generate some top quality content that is absolutely undetectable as being AI generated. Here right now we are in step 1 of the process. The process itself has 3 steps. In the first step, we enter the article that we want to rewrite. Also in the first step, we will then rewrite our article on the level of paragraphs, and we'll get to that in a minute. Then, once we're done rewriting the paragraphs of our article in step 1, we'll move on to step 2. There, we're going to rewrite our article by selecting the best synonyms for each word and phrase. Or in the real world, we're just going to run the one-click rewrite option that will do all of the work for us and produce an amazing result. And then finally, in step 3, we're going to take the rewritten article that we've created and we'll be able to generate dozens or even hundreds of completely unique articles from it. We'll get to that in a minute, but for now, let's make ourselves comfortable right here in step 1. So here, to get started, we can simply enter the article that we want to rewrite into this big input field right here. Or we can use the Fetch a New Article option. And this option lets us search through the built-in database of hundreds of thousands of articles. This option gives you a starting article on any topic or any niche of your choice. It's 2 clicks and you have your articles ready to go. But for the purposes of this video, let's go back and let's use the Load a Sample Article option right here. You'll have this same option in your account as well, and it just makes it super easy to get familiar with Spin Rewriter AI. Okay, now we've got our article, which means we are now ready to use the magical Spin Rewriter AI to start actually rewriting our article. We're just going to click the Rewrite Paragraphs with AI button. And, as you can see, our article is now being analyzed, and here are our paragraphs. Now we can rewrite each of them with a single click, just by pressing this button next to it. Let's see, and in just a second it started generating, and Spin Rewriter's built-in AI is going to rewrite this paragraph in a way that makes perfect sense and that exactly preserves the original meaning. But of course, we don't have to rewrite each paragraph individually like this. More often than not, we're going to be lazy, effective, and simply use this Rewrite All Paragraphs option down here. Let's click this button and see what happens. Well, as you probably expected, Spin Rewriter's AI is now rewriting each paragraph for us, completely on its own, and it's doing an awesome job of it. And also the interface itself is moving automatically, so we can monitor the progress in this friendly and relaxing way. You can just kick back and watch all this work unfold before you. Imagine having to do all of this work by yourself. To me, that's the actual crazy part of this large language model AI revolution that we've been hearing so much about. Large language models, these are the LLMs that you're probably hearing about these days, and this is the technology that lets us do stuff like this. Rewriting paragraphs with this level of quality and intelligence is something we couldn't have even dreamed about just a few years ago. But now it's a reality, and it's here, and it's absolutely awesome. Speaking of, LLMs, or large language models, are also the exact way ChatGPT works, but we'll get to that a bit later. And you're going to learn some super interesting things about it too. Okay, so anyway, we are now done with the paragraphs and we can simply click here, Use Paragraph Variations. And these new paragraphs will be automatically added to our article. Bam! It's as easy as that. Okay, now let's take another look around here in step 1. I think it's pretty obvious how we're going to proceed to step 2, right, with this button here. And if you've noticed, the big orange primary button has been the Rewrite Paragraphs with AI before. But now that we've done the paragraph rewrites, the big orange primary button has automatically changed to the Next Step button, which helps us guide through the entire process in a super friendly way. You're going to find little friendly touches like these all around Spin Rewriter's interface. We've put so much work and so much love into how we design our user interfaces, and we just love seeing how our users are having a good time using Spin Rewriter. It's actually fun to use, and I'm sure you'll see that for yourself soon enough. Anyway, it's time for us to move to step 2. So let's click this button and let's go. Spin Rewriter has now analyzed the exact meaning of each word and phrase in our article, and it's prepared all of the synonyms for individual words and phrases. It's made sure that the synonyms are going to make perfect sense. So, here we go. We can now simply click on a word, and we're going to see a list of suggested synonyms. Now, it's super easy to add these synonyms by just clicking on them. Or we can simply click the top button, and this is going to give us all of the top best quality suggested synonyms with just a single click like this. But to tell you the truth, you're probably not going to do things manually like this. It would take a long time, and once again, the AI technology that's built into Spin Rewriter will actually do a much better job than we could do ourselves. So let's scroll all the way down instead, and here we have this button, one-click rewrite. Now, before using this magical button, I suggest we take a look at our settings first, right here. This is where we tell Spin Rewriter if we want to turn our article into a large number of very unique articles or a smaller number of super readable ones. But let's just leave this setting set to recommended. We can also tell Spin Rewriter to protect some of our keywords. And for example, if we're promoting a restaurant called Big Burgers, like this, Big Burgers, then we can just put Big Burgers in here. And Spin Rewriter is never going to touch or change this phrase. Because we don't want the name of our restaurant to be changed to something like Huge Burgers or something like that. Or we can also check this option right here, automatically protect all capitalized words, and Spin Rewriter simply won't touch any of the capitalized words, which in our case would also protect the name of our made-up restaurant just the same. Okay, now that we're happy with our settings, let's go back to the main screen because it's time for the big act. Let's click our famous one-click rewrite button right here and watch as Spin Rewriter does its magic. Well, Spin Rewriter is now doing all of the hard work for us. You can see right here in the background. It's selecting the best synonyms for every single word and phrase. This would take you probably at least half an hour to do manually, and our AI does an absolutely stellar job of it. Now, once we're done with the one-click rewrite, you can see right here, we can now literally generate billions of unique articles from the one we started with, and they're all going to be absolutely unique. So, this is pretty amazing, right? Now, let's move into the final step of the process by clicking this nice primary orange final step button right here. This only takes a second, and as you can see, we've now arrived to the final step, step 3. And this is where we're going to create all of the unique articles that we could ever need. This right here is where we see our finalized version of our spun article. This is called a spintax article or spinning syntax article, and it's what we created in both step 1 and step 2. Step 1 we created this on the level of paragraphs, and then in step 2 we created more spintax on the level of words and phrases. And now this spintax that we generated is going to serve as the basis for all of the unique articles we'll generate. Now, before we start creating our articles, let me show you a couple of additional settings you can use to make your articles even more unique. Let's, for example, fetch some relevant videos from the database of countless videos that's built right into Spin Rewriter AI. We can click this button and tell Spin Rewriter we want videos about, say, guitar lessons. And we've already got some suggestions. Let's pick, for example, 4 of them. These look good. And let's insert 2 of them into every article that we're going to be generating. Confirm, and we're good to go. We could also do the same thing with relevant images, and it's just as easy. We do the same thing basically, and we can add royalty-free images that we're free to use. And we could go into settings here for some additional advanced features, but you'll probably want to explore those on your own and at your own pace. Okay, so I think we're ready right now. Let's simply click this big orange generate a unique article button right here. And we already have one of the possible unique versions of our article. Each time we press this button, Spin Rewriter instantly generates one of the perfectly readable and completely unique new articles for us, right here. Once we've got our article, we can see just how unique it is. And we can see that it's 99% unique compared to our original article. And if we click compare side by side, we can see what our new article looks like next to the article we started with. Here you can also see the two videos that we've selected before. Now here in step 3, there's a lot of additional features. For example, we can run a copyscape check with a simple click. Or we can take the unique article we just generated and we can send it directly to any of our WordPress websites just by clicking this button basically. But there's many more amazing things we can take a look at here. First of all, we can use this optimize feature right here. Let's say we want a catchy new title for our article that will grab the attention of our readers and let us get as many clicks to our website as we can. We just need to click this button, and in just a second or two, here we have our very catchy new title in just a couple of seconds. And it's just as easy to generate a description or a summary or extract the best possible keywords for SEO from your articles. But you can try all of these out for yourself. Okay, let's close the optimize section and talk about another huge feature. This right here, this is our text humanizer. This basically takes AI generated content and makes sure that it becomes completely 100% genuine and human-like. This way Google or anyone else has absolutely no way of telling that your content is AI generated. In fact, every single detector that you can find will tell you that all of your Spin Rewriter articles are 100% human and genuine. Okay, so how does that work? First of all, if you take a look at all of these options, we're going to introduce some tiny little human imperfections into your article, and we're going to do it at the same average rate that human writers do it. So we're going to add some typos, some misspellings, some what are called homophone confusions. That's where us humans sometimes mix up there and there. And then we're going to add some capitalization issues, as if your shift button got stuck when you were typing something. And we're going to miss some punctuation characters, and we're going to repeat some words randomly, just like human writers do sometimes. And finally, we're going to also add some spacing issues, which will also help us with something called burstiness, which we'll talk about in a second. Okay, so this one big remaining feature, it's called Humanize with an AI model that's been fine-tuned on best performing SEO content. So what does this mean? Well, let's find out. Like I said, we've poured literally thousands of hours of love and care into Spin Rewriter's interface. So every time you have questions about something, there's probably going to be a button nearby that explains everything in simple terms. So let's see what this AI model does for us in terms of humanizing our articles. As you can see, there are two main technical factors that make AI content actually detectable as being artificially generated. The first factor is perplexity. It's a way to measure how surprised or perplexed an AI content detector is by the next word in a sequence. AI-generated text has low perplexity, which means each individual word is extremely predictable given the words that came before it. Imagine someone saying, well, it's been a nice something. You would expect them to say, it's been a nice evening, or it's been a nice conversation. And you wouldn't exactly expect them to say, it's been a nice banana. And this is what perplexity is measuring. Statistically speaking, AI-generated content has extremely and unusually low perplexity, while actual and genuine human-generated content has much higher perplexity on average. And the second factor is something called burstiness. It's when certain words and phrases occur inside a text in clusters or in bursts. When people are writing about something, these clusters of words that are relevant can be super apparent, so this is high burstiness. But when AI is generating content, it's always generating it in a more structured and more formal way, which means these words are spread out more uniformly, so the AI-generated text always has a much lower burstiness. Bottom line is this. When you enable this option, Spin Rewriter's AI model will apply a number of changes to your article, and these changes will make your content 100% genuine and 100% human-like. Okay, let's go back. And let's now go ahead and simply humanize our article. It only takes a moment, maybe 2 moments, and look at all the changes our text humanizer has now introduced. This has now made our article feel completely genuine, which means it's going to do great for SEO and it's going to get us some amazing rankings. Let's simply apply these changes. And here we are. Our article has now been fully humanized. Now, let's take a look at another feature that I haven't shown you in the main video. By clicking this translate button right here, you can easily translate your articles into more than 30 different languages. And you're going to get an absolutely world-class translation every single time. But that's not all. Another feature that Spin Rewriter AI is the absolute first one to bring to the market is our localization feature. Here we can localize the article for a specific English-speaking market. And as you can see, we can optimize our article for just the UK market or just the New Zealand market and so on. This feature fine-tunes your article in terms of regional differences and common phrases and things like that. And this makes a big difference when it comes to your target audience actually reading your articles and liking them, but also to the SEO results that you're going to get with your localized articles. So let's click localize, and in just a few seconds, here we go. Here we have our localized article for New Zealand, and it's as easy as that. Okay, so now you've seen some of the most important features of Spin Rewriter AI, with a lot of features actually still left in there for you to explore. It's pretty crazy, all the power you're getting with Spin Rewriter AI, and I think you're absolutely going to love it. Anyway, it's time for one more thing. You know, one final impressive thing that lets you see all of this power in action. Let's go right back to step 1. And let's take this original article, you know, the one we started with at the very beginning, before we made any changes to it whatsoever. Let's take this article and copy it. And now let's go to a very popular AI content detector right here. And let's see what happens. Remember, this is our original article that was in fact generated by AI before we started working on it. Let's paste it in here and let's click the check button. And okay, it verified us. And as we can see, this AI content detector does in fact know that this article was generated with AI because it says AI content detected right here. The low perplexity and the low burstiness of the original article, plus the lack of any human imperfections, gave it away. And so it failed this test. So now let's go back to step 3. Where we have our fully rewritten article. We've already rewritten all of the paragraphs with AI, and we've processed all of the words and phrases with the one-click rewrite option. And we've also finally run this article through the text humanizer. So there's literally nothing left to do but to select it and copy it. And now let's go back to the AI content detector. Let's clear this space right here and paste our new finished article into here. Now let's click check and let's see what happens. Okay, and of course the detector now says this is human text without a shadow of a doubt, and because all of the work that Spin Rewriter AI has done on our article, this is now completely undetectable as AI generated. And this right here, this is what we want. This is the content that's going to work incredibly well for SEO. And this is frankly the only way to do SEO these days. Having this power to generate unlimited human quality content on demand will let you absolutely leapfrog all of your competitors who are actively shooting themselves in the foot by using simple AI generated content. And this means you're going to outrank them at will and get all of the good rankings for yourself. And it's truly as easy as that. Now, if we go back to Spin Rewriter AI, there's dozens of other awesome features and goodies available to you as one of our awesome Spin Rewriter AI users. And you can also check out our collection of detailed video tutorials that will turn you into an absolute publishing machine. It's going to turn you into a content generating ninja is what we call it. Thank you once again so much for using Spin Rewriter AI, and have a great day.